not in this world to live up to your expectation. Neither are you in to live up to mine. I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will use. No rocket science to get you confused. So relax your mind, make sure everything is fine, while I take you down a poetic line. Trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. I remember you say Liberation Day, and I ask, you sure is that you wanna say? Cause you sounded so good to believe. And deception is a powerful thing when you lose your rightful thinking. So we voted for the bling. But you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Yellow, yellow all the way is what everybody say. Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But what on earth lasts forever? Not even things created by the great Jehovah. So the green grass ceased to grow to allow the yellow vibes to flow. But boy, one song I sing, one bell a ring. If we didn't know, we never know yellow would have treat us so. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past administration, chief of corruption. Then to economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession, the cause of poverty in the land. Economic recession, no employment for the ordinary man. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. All your projects are stuck in a pipeline, but when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine. We are looking into it. Never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temperature. When will they start? Please answer that. Oh, soon. Maybe by the next full moon. Although things are turning at a very slow pace, we now run no race. 5 years is a lot of space. It's just a few hungry people in a place, and a few disgruntled green people with their vexed face. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain, you now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imanis, less stress on the economy. You and Manchester hold up the country. You didn't see us down by the brewery when you send SSU to beat we. Trick us with regional division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party? And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next ballot. But you guys will have to come real good, cause it's a long time Grenada ain't eat a food. You think politicians good? Trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay at ease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain, you now refrain. You remember in the Bible, God had a plan for Jonah to restore Nineveh. But who will restore Grenada? Is it the same Jonah? Lots of doubt, so I'm running up my mouth. And I ain't counting no chicken before the hatch. Politicians sometimes form a crooked batch. After they get the vote, they now sing one note. But here comes Fort Judy and Nancy Payne, with $1 million house and brand new car on the scene, while our hungry belly still grumbling. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. So yellow people say, next election not me stain that finger, cause after we say enough from Jonah, here comes still with more pressure and hunger. And from the mouth of Grenada, only one thing I utter: the Congress neglect us, the Congress fail us. And I could never understand the distribution of the wealth. So drink your bush home if you want good health. And for real, we appreciate the free barrel, but they only come in December. So what we do from January to November? Suck salt and drink Nawasa water. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease, that's the way it is. We've waited in vain.
This is Malax again. I say my back broad is broad. Michael Wattis, please don't take my bail. I want to go in jail, I want to go in jail. What you know about Black Pat and Bun Pat? Hey! Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. Dr. Mitchell is a real world boss. He begged them fellas to come to class. Well, you know that all of them refuse, and now the whole nation confused. One jump and sell Miss McQuinca, Tevin cause them teachers for water. Big corruption inside Latu, but baby Jesus make like go. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. CJ and AJ turn engineer, both in River Road and Moline. Is to see them with a helmet, telling us when project will complete. I'm telling you now it's 2 years plus, and like the project start to reverse. No River Road and much more flood, and Moline full up with more. Call the police for me and arrest me.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name's Sheldon Scott. I'm here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
No, I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. I really thought Randall Robinson bad, but the man is a real big coward. Came Jones say fire Larry Barry, fire him as the secretary. But the man he really friend Millie. Come and tell us how some people say. Came Jones say by no fluffy old talk. Tell them fella time to pack and walk. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare.
And it is a Thursday night. We will be having our Thursday night talk.
Tell them, call
In fact, I have somebody want to join me early tonight, and I think they have to go out and thing. Let me see if I could get them on. Yeah.
Smallocks in custody. If I do see the farmer banker, ask him the reason he get fire. And if he pretend he ain't know, ask him about the house in Maribo. And if he want to create trouble in me life, I go send him a number for me wife. And if he really want to make confusion, tell us Smallocks have other woman. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them, call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody.
So as I said, I've got a guest Early tonight, I've got a guest on with me.
Nigeria.
Let me just bring him on. Good night to you, sir. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Good evening to you, Sheldon, and all of your listeners and viewers in Grenada, diaspora, and the world over. Good
Yes,
evening. It's a
indeed.
pleasure to be here again.
Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford. And how has your day been going so far?
Very, very busy, actually. I'm afraid I can't be with you very long tonight,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's always a pleasure to be with you.
That's why I'm grabbing you early, because I know. And then you have the preparation for tomorrow, because it's back to court and so again. So the preparation. So how have things been going with you and the since you've returned and you've started in the legal profession again? How have things been going with you so far?
Well, it's going all right so far. I can't complain. It's good to reintegrate. Some of my old colleagues, get to catch up with them, and it's been going quite fine. I'm enjoying it, actually.
Nice, wonderful. And I know outside of the legal, which you have to prepare for, there is a parliament session coming up soon. And listening to the House of Representatives, there was
Yes.
quite a lot of discussion on one bill in particular, although there was the terrorism bill, and I have to tell you, there are some things we have to look at in that bill. I think they might have to withdraw it. There's some errors in that, I'm pretty sure. But the holidays bill, have you seen it? Have you gone over it? What are your views in relation to that? I know you have the Senate coming up, but still I want to ask you tonight, what are your views in relation to that bill? And making October 19th not just a holiday, but actually naming it Heroes Day. Your views?
Well, thank you for the question. My views pretty simple. I think it's an unnecessary controversy. I've seen the bill. I've got it in my email. I went through it. It's an amendment bill to the public holidays enactment. We will be debating that shortly in the Senate, because as you know, it went through the House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
For me, Sheldon, I think October 19th is a day of significance for Grenadians. But to observe it as National Heroes Day, I think it's, as I said, an unnecessary controversy, because it is a day with its own significance. And it's a traumatic day in the Grenadian national psyche. I mean, this day represents an occasion when almost the soul of the nation was shattered by the bloody demise of the Grenada Revolution. And I think it is unnecessary and unfortunate that there are some who see it fit to peddle this day as National Heroes Day. You see, after 50 years of independence, it is important and it is right to honor those who have gone over and above in their service to nation and nation building. And it is quite unfortunate that we see a day such as this one as the day to mark as National Heroes Day. As I said, a day with its own significance, a significance of trauma, one that divides more than it heals. I think it is a missed opportunity for the administration bringing people together. This does not heal. This does not unite. This actually explodes more division among people and reminds people of why our little nation hurt so badly and why we were so disappointed in the revolutionary experiment. Of course, a National Heroes Day must be observed. But in my view, I think it should be some other day. A day that is set aside for that, a day that has no peculiar significance such as this one. So this one has peculiar significance. a day when you can recognize, commemorate, and honor the work and the strides of our nation builders, our heroes from all walks of life. So that marking a National Heroes Day and recognizing heroes is not something that is confined only to the events of the demise of the Grenadian Revolution. You see, at this time, the people who are, I think, in my view, people who are peddling this, there are certain individuals that have associated themselves with the National Democratic Party, Congress. And those persons may have been involved in those events. And it is in their interest to muddle or perhaps falsify history in some way by creating confusion in the minds of people as to the significance of that day and what happened as a matter of historical fact. We do not need to go into that. We do not need to go down that road. Set aside a neutral day and honor all persons who have given and overextended themselves for the development of this nation. And we recognize them as heroes. They may be dead. Some persons may be alive. And so this really doesn't need to happen at this time. Sheldon, right now in Grenada, we have more important things for the government to concentrate their attention on. We have a road network and drains across the country that have fallen into disrepair and decay. This rainy season, the rainfall that we have been experiencing in the last 3 weeks has shown that and demonstrated that as a pressing need for attention. We have the reconstruction of homes and lives in Carriacou, community centers, public buildings, private homes, health centers in Petit Martinique and Carriacou that the government needs to pay attention to. We have now this as a piece, an item, a public item piece for controversy and discussion. I am not saying, I will repeat again, not saying that celebrating a Heroes Day or marking it in some way is not important. Certainly it is, as I indicated. We come of age after 15 years of independence. We ought to recognize and we ought to know who our heroes are. And that is one of the very telling things about this unnecessary controversy with this administration. You're marking Heroes Day and you can't tell us who are the heroes. Telling us that October 19th will be Heroes Day and then we'll have a public discussion on who should be named as heroes. This is totally unnecessary. I think this is unfortunate for the government to be concentrating on at this time when we have a cost of living crisis. We have an economy in stagnation. Some people are, I don't know how they're making it to pay rent, to pay mortgage. There's no increase in employment in the country. These are the things, this is the real business of government. That is serious government. Not this. Not this.
Is it a situation, you believe, that it's a bit of hero worship and idolization of an individual and a point in time in Grenada's history, specifically by the Prime Minister? Considering during the election campaign, the Maurice, we miss you, the light candles, Maurice, come back to us, we miss you, that sort of thing. The constant attempts, and those of us with eyes to see will see, the constant attempts by the Prime Minister to pass himself off as Maurice Bishop reincarnate. From the way he dresses to the way he attempts to speak. The only thing he can do is grow a beard yet. But everything else, trying to recreate the photos that are iconic of Maurice Bishop, trying to get that photo of an elderly lady fondling Maurice's beard, or Maurice sitting with some children, trying to recreate all of those photos, and so on. So trying to be Maurice Bishop reincarnate, and sort of romanticizing the period of the revolution, which is a period that wasn't a good romance for a lot of people. A lot of people had a bad romantic relationship with the revolution. Some people had a good one, but many people also had a bad one. Do you see that as the reasoning behind calling that particular day, which I think everybody agrees, yeah, they don't have a problem with it being a holiday, but naming it as Heroes Day?
Of course, I think all of that is entangled in this foolish endeavor. You see, Sheldon, fantasy is really the distraction of children. This nostalgia that they seem to be reaching for is something out of a fantasy book. One has to be one's own self. The nation must know who you are. You can't be somebody else. And right now, the hard and bitter task of government in this era, in this time, with a global situation that is perilous, is for people to be serious, focused, honest, and true to themselves and true to the nation. This is not a time to pretend to be somebody else. This is a time to do the work of the people's business. And I think you're quite right. That may be involved in this. I've seen that from the election campaign. You're quite right. That this reaching for a sort of emulation of Maurice Bishop. Now, Maurice Bishop is an iconic figure, and I think more so because of the tragic way in which he departed this world. He departed this world in martyrdom. And in martyrdom, people are idealized, and martyrdom tends to generate a sort of legendary figure that lives from generation to generation. Because of that martyrdom, the circumstances of demise, particularly where you were cut down for things that you believe in, and you were cut down at a time when you had the adulation and the hopes of all the people rested in you. I think right now, this is not a focus of any government. This is not serious. This is thing that children do. Children, I have seen up and down the country how people find it so difficult in this time to get work and to make ends meet. And you are seeing right before your eyes those who we have elected to lead us into the future, lead us to prosperity, to build this nation, reaching backwards. I think it was the songwriter, I think it was David Foster, writing a song for Dionne Warwick in 1979. There's a verse in it that says, a fool would lose tomorrow, reaching back for yesterday. This is not what we should be focused on the future, carrying our people forward. Now, they said in the election campaign they're here to take Grenada forward, and they had plans to take Grenada forward, and there was going to be a transformation. We are yet to see even the building blocks of a transformation. Well, certainly not the transformation that we expected. We have seen the transformation in some people's pockets, the transformation in their lives for better living at the cost of the public purse and on the backs of the Grenadian people who have not enjoyed such benefits. So this is what we're dealing with in Grenada. And this is why I think the new National Party has a pivotal role to play, particularly in the coming years, for taking this nation out of the rut that it is in at this time.
Indeed. And to those of you just joining us, we're speaking with Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford. Just a brief one tonight because he has to go just now. Not me running him, he running me. He had to go in a short.
I can't help it. That one was tight for me.
But also, and just the final one on the heroes before I move on to another issue here. As you said, another day would be suitable for heroes because, for instance, how would you consider the 3 people that died on the morning of March 13th? Because approximately 3 people died during the overthrow of the Gary regime. Those people were doing their jobs
right
legally so. Well, at least two of them. I think one was crossfire civilian sort of thing, but doing their jobs as they were required constitutionally and otherwise to defend the state of Grenada. Do we consider those individuals who died, their families do we consider those individuals as heroes? And also you have the individuals for the militia. For instance, the militia from St. John who were killed in Bujeju. The many people who died down fighting in the airport area, Caliste and so on, attempting to repel the American troops. Those who died on the fort, and we're not talking about the 19th here, we're talking about those who died on the fort, the anti-aircraft gunner and so on that died on the fort on the 25th. Are they not, in the context of what they were doing at the point in time that they were doing, heroes as well? And do we take all of them and say that this is the day that we're celebrating them on? The three people who died on March the 13th, 1979, do we take those three people and lump them in and say, well, okay, on the 19th, we are going to celebrate you as well? Do we take those who died on the 25th, a few days later, in fighting against an invading force at the point in time, and say, well, you were patriotic, you were standing up and at the ultimate sacrifice, you are a hero as well, we're celebrating you on that day? Do we reach further down and say, Tia Marichaud and Fedor and all these folks, and drag all of them to that particular day and say, this is Heroes Day? How do we I'm trying to understand how do we encapsulate all of that on that particular day, rather than just call the day, as was mentioned by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, the possibility, call it a Martyrs Day or something. You call it Martyrs Day, you could understand that, okay, this is the day these folks died on, the ultimate sacrifice, on that day, martyrs. Because if you're calling that Heroes Day as well, you have to include Connie Myers, who died going to the fort, because he died on that day as well. Are you going to say he's a hero? Are you going to include him on the 19th? He died on the 19th as well. I think there were a couple other soldiers that died on the 19th as well. They weren't lined up and shot. They died in the crossfire.
Not to mention
And
people,
school
children.
Yeah.
That's the point.
The Romanian
So it
child.
becomes laughable. It becomes ridiculous.
Gemma Belma.
That's right. It becomes ridiculous. And that is the difficulty with the naming of the October 19th as National Heroes Day. You are now muddling all of that, confusing all of it, conflating all of those things with other things and other events and other heroic acts by other people who are unrelated to those events. You just mentioned an iconic Grenadian hero, in my personal view, Tia Marichaud, and his contribution to West Indian Federation, as well as laying building blocks for our nationalism in Grenada. You put him with October 19th?
Well,
totally divorced from that. So you see, it becomes ridiculous. And I urge wisdom, although I feel I may be crying for the moon when I say wisdom, because there's no wisdom in this. There's no wisdom at all in this.
And do you celebrate Sir Eric Matthew Gary, who was overthrown by the individuals that were on the two sides of the fence on that particular day? Do you now take him, make him a Grenadian hero, since he was the father of independence, etc.? Do you take him, make him a Grenadian hero, and celebrate him on that day alongside those that overthrew him? This thing is confusing.
The two things, those things will not sit well. Yeah, very confusing. They don't sit well. They have no place there. No place there at all. As I said, the day has its own significance. We must recognize that. We must appreciate that and leave it alone as that. And as the guy saying is that, leave it alone.
And we could have another day, and that day is Heroes Day.
We could have another day and celebrate all other worthy heroes, unconnected to those tragic events. That's what a responsible, wise, and forward-looking government does.
Indeed. Senator Hosford, I know you have to go quickly. we have some activities taking place coming up. The 40th anniversary of the new National Party. You've been around this thing since you're in your 20s. I can't remember if you're there since your teens. I know in your 20s at least that you've been around with the new National Party. Black tie event on Saturday night. You might or might not see me. I ain't make up my mind yet. You may or may not see me.
I hope to see you. I hope to see you.
May or may not. But
I hope to see you.
Definitely on Sunday at the rally at Beaujeu. And then again, the convention of the new National Party coming up. I was kind of tickled, surprised last week when I saw GBN showing a thing where you said that you are not interested in the leadership at this point in time, and not really putting that in context that this statement was made several weeks ago.
Correct.
This was not a statement that was made last week that Honorable Emlyn Pierre came out and said that she's going for leadership, and all of a sudden, Dwight Hosford walk into GBN and say, well, I am not looking for leadership at this time. I'm not taking...
No. Actually,
a couple weeks before.
I was on to the point on the 8th of October. And that is where I made those remarks, so long before this. And importantly, I said in my remarks that in my personal view, leadership in our context is not something you campaign for. And one has to be ready. It requires in-depth preparation. And I think introspection. You have to examine yourself properly and completely before you put yourself forward. I mean, it's always very romantic and exciting to think about the labels and titles of leadership, but it requires much more than desire, as we can see happening now in the country. When you are not ready, when you're not prepared, you get involved in the things that we're just talking about, confusing the nation and trying to be like somebody who has passed away, which you are completely not and will never be. So leadership is a very serious thing. And I think right now the party is on course. It has a number of talented people, and leadership will always be molded in the new National Party. I think the nation, quite frankly, is looking towards the new National Party for leadership going forward into the future. I think by and large, that is the case. Even, I would dare say, without fear of a rejoinder from the other side, you notice, Sheldon, since the 2022 elections, you have an NDC administration. These are new people have been given the opportunity to hold the reins of the state. And from the moment they took office, their obsession and their continued obsession has been the new National Party and what is happening in the new National Party rather than govern it. So even they are looking towards the new National Party and how the new National Party molds itself going forward into the future. So it appears that we still, even in opposition, are the leaders. Imagine that. Imagine that. But coming back to our activities, we're marking 40 years, and it's a big deal. And it's not just 40 years of being a party, but 40 years of being at the vanguard of national development since the return of constitutional and democratic rule to this country. I mean, the mantle for doing so was in the hands of committed to the hands of the new National Party, and we've done it well. Nobody can seriously debate the developments by leaps and bounds this country has made under the stewardship of the new National Party and its leader. That to deny that is like a Christian or somebody born into Christianity denying Christ. It's not a serious proposition at all. And I think it's important for all of us. I'm looking forward to all of us coming out, particularly at the rally on Sunday. It's going to be massive. We have guest speakers coming in and some tremendous figures from political parties that are philosophically aligned with the new National Party. Now, in this modern time, some people like to say that, politics is not really about philosophy. Of course, you have to be pragmatic in politics, but the foundation of political organization must be filled with some political philosophical fundament. If you don't have that, then it's not a real political party. And our center-right political philosophy has guided us through success and development of this country. And part of our beliefs as a party with that center-right political philosophy is about gradual change and molding development, crafting it rather than radical departures where you get the result of upheaval and disappointment and failure. We are not into that in the New National Party. And that takes me to another point of view that I have, my own personal view. I know a lot of people are concerned and speculate about the leadership of the party and future of the party and Dr. Mitchell and what he tends to do. I know he has expressed himself in certain ways, looking back on his political career. But my personal view is that I think he is, at this time, in my view, the greatest steward of the party. And I think he has a shepherd's role to play in preparing that table for the banquet of the party into the future. And I think he should shepherd on just a little longer. In my personal view, that's just my personal view. I know reluctantly he has had quite a long stint, and the leadership is a burden. And Sheldon, sometimes we forget that, People forget that leadership is a burden as well. It's not just a helicopter ride. In fact, it's not that. It's not flying around. It is a burden. It is the burden of the nation. It's the burden of command. It's the burden of vision. It's the burden of finding that pathway. You must be the beacon. You must light that torch and get us from here to there. That is the burden. Take us to a new horizon. And I think at this particular time, there is a lot of unfinished business, certainly internally in the party. And I think he should shepherd us a little longer. That is my personal view.
Indeed. And folks, I'm speaking with Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford. And you see the difference with the New National Party when you hear people from the New National Party speaking, and when you hear people from those other parties. They cannot elocute. That's the proper word. They cannot elocute properly on a topic. They cannot expound on a topic properly, as you have done on quite a few issues in the short space of time we have been speaking. I know I already go over the amount of time and you had here. But again, Senator Hosford, I'm looking forward to seeing you on the weekend. And I know that you're a person that we can call on at any point in time, like last minute this evening. Watch, I want to hear what you have to say in relation to that and get you onto the program to come and speak on various issues. And you were speaking a short while there about leadership. And you know something I remember? When you speak about the burden of leadership ages you, It ages you. I remember looking at Barack Obama walking into the president's office in the United States. And I looked at him walking out.
Come on, great.
And it wasn't the same guy. You look even at before him, George Bush, and you see when he leave office, you see is a different person that leave in that space of 8 years there. And before him, Bill Clinton, you saw that. And the thing is this, it affects you in that way. You see the aging of the person. So that's why people could watch people now and say there's old man and this and that. It ages you when you care. When you can't sleep fully at night because that person's house burned down, and I hope we haven't lost Senator Hosford there. Oh, we lost you for a second, but I see you back. It ages you when you're a person that cares. Because if you care and somebody's house has burned down and there are 6 children, and you as the Prime Minister of the country, you as the President of the country, that affects you on an emotional level, You can't sleep a full night because you're wondering, what can I do and how quickly can we do it to help? When a flood
and you must do it genuinely.
Yeah.
When you do it genuinely because you genuinely care about people, it comes from your heart and it's part of your nature, who you are. You're not going to go there as a photo op to take pictures about how people live in and their conditions and so on, and that you give them some board and some galvanizer or hamper.
No.
I mean, that is distasteful. That is not genuine. That is self-promotion and it is not service.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the hallmark of the New National Party service. That's the distinction.
Yeah.
Others pose, NNP delivers.
And
Others
cares.
pose.
And cares. And I think that's an important word to enter there. And cares.
Yeah. Correct.
So I am sure that Dr. Mitchell has had many the sleepless night when he's considering this event has happened, this person has lost their life, or these people have lost their homes, or even I could imagine what he was going through after Ivan for that period of time. And you have 80% of the country, 80% of the country, that anytime...
Almost complete devastation.
Yeah, that anytime he jumped a plane at that point in time was to go and secure some benefit for Grenada. Not to go and say, well, I met with this person and I met with that person, but that's the end of the conversation. I met with this organization and they are doing this for Grenada. I met with that organization, they are doing that for Grenada.
Because it's not about you know.
No.
This thing is not about you. It's not like a kid in a candy store. Look at me. Look where I am. Look at who I am. That is not about.
Walking with cameraman.
It's about benefit. Yeah. You have to bring benefits to people. And let me just say this before I go, because I have to run off in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just staying with leadership just a bit, and for our listeners, particularly our NNP family. I don't think, you see, in life and particularly in politics, we have to appreciate when we have people who genuinely care and who have worked hard just for the service of country so that our lives can be improved. And when we hear the comments on the other side, particularly the narrative on the other side about ageism and the age of this person and that person and so on, there are many aspects to leadership. One of them is what I mentioned earlier, shepherding people. And he, Dr. Mitchell, has said that is his interest, to guide new people. Guide new people. And you can see from our present experience with this new government, the pitfalls of not having experienced hands to guide and advise. Nobody's advising them. And if there anybody or any persons advising them, those individuals are not being listened to. This is not the way of the New National Party. And for sisters and brothers in the diaspora, you need to ignore this business about chasing people or removing people because they have been in a position for a particular time or they have reached a certain age. You need to see the value in people and what they can bring to the table, what they have done in their lives and what they can do. We need to learn from them. If there's any emulation that any young politician needs to do right now, is to look back on the lives of our current leader, who has been the longest serving prime minister, and try to take a page or two from his book, rather than beat the chest and cuss, as we have been hearing from the other side. They have spent so much time and more time cussing one man, one particular man, than to patch a pothole. Imagine that. Spend more time cussing a man than patching potholes in the country. What does that tell you? That this inexperienced bunch, they are just hardened. They're not interested in learning from anybody. And when you are like that, what do you expect? Errors, folly, more mistakes, nonsense in the country. And I think that is why, by and large, Sheldon, the public, the Grenadian people are experiencing what they call buyer's remorse. They go and buy this item called NDC and put them in government and look at what we get. So I am saying, in my personal humble view, I prefer to learn, to continue to eat at the table of those who are senior and those who know, so that they can show us how to do it and how to do it better. And that is why I think, as a great steward of the party, Dr. Mitchell will always have and command my respect in that regard. And so my sisters and brothers in the diaspora, continue to hold the fort and wave the flag of the New National Party. And those of us here in Grenada, come out in large numbers on Sunday. Let's celebrate 40 years of dynamism, vision, and progress.
Indeed. Senator Hosford, we just want to thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
And I know that you had to run. Well, you ain't run, you go drive. But look out for the potholes, because it have a lot. And especially
plenty.
if you're going south side, man, just make sure you have spare tire or your thing, because I'm telling you, navigate. We will pray for you. You'll be okay. All right, my brother. You have a wonderful night, sir, and we hope to see you on
good night to you and your listeners.
Soon again. Probably before convention, we'll have you on again, because we do
have
some matters to discuss before then. Yes, and even after then, we have some matters to discuss. Thank you so very much, sir. Do enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
One love. Thank you. Great.
Yes, folks, we've been speaking there with Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford, joining us for a little while there, giving his view in relation to the bill that is now before the Senate, that is to make October 19th officially Heroes Day. And again, I've not heard any one of the New National Party parliamentarians saying that they disagree with the 19th being a holiday. None have said that. What they have said is that to place the mantle of Heroes Day on it, if it's National Martyrs Day, that's one thing. But to decide on that day you're going to make it Heroes Day, there are certain things that go along with that, and that the government needs to rethink and to consult and to consider the thoughts of other Grenadians in relation to that particular issue. So, folks, it is now 47 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock in studio. By the time you hear it, it might be a little later than that. But that's the time in studio at this point in time. Yes, indeed. I'll take a look at a piece of this again before we get into the rest of the discussion for tonight.
This is Malax again.
And folks, there was a caller last night that gave some information as regards a young lady that lost her house yesterday. It was burnt flat. They lost everything. And there are 6 children involved between the ages of, I think it's 12 to 2. The youngest is 2. So there are 5 boys. I think one is 12, 10, 8, 5, and the youngest, which is a girl, is 2. So any of you that are willing to assist in whichever form or format, reach out and I will connect you. All right? You know that's how I like to do it. You reach out and I'll connect you to her because she's lost everything. Everything gone. There's nothing there. Yeah? So she needs assistance as much as possible. Or you could also reach out to Sister Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, and I know she will be willing to guide you along the way of exactly what can be done to assist in that situation. Yeah?
No, I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallhouse in custody. CJ and AJ turn engineer, both in River Road and Molyneux. Is to see them with a helmet, telling us where.
And folks, the phone lines are open. 440-7377. You can call if you so desire.
No river.
And 347-329-3101. To our good friends out there in the diaspora, you can call as well.
I prepare to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty.
Also, to let you all know, we will be having program tomorrow night. As long as everything goes as planned, we should be having the program tomorrow night, Friday night forum. Sometimes it's a little difficult to come in on the Friday night. I fight and do it, but sometimes, I have to abandon the program because of one or two things. But so far, so good. So we look like we're on for tomorrow night.
Arrest me like Ziggy. I prepare to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me.
And again, we'd like to thank Senator the Honorable Dwight Hosford for joining us tonight.
We're happy to see Smallhouse in custody.
I should have another guest a little later on,
Banker, ask
Just
him
for a little while to talk on one or two things as well, yeah.
if he pretend he ain't know. Ask him about the house in Maribo. And if he want to.
And folks, remember, if you're trying to find out about buses to get into the rally on Sunday, you can call 440-1875. You can call anytime between 9 and 4 tomorrow morning, and you should be able to get the information. I doubt you will find anyone in the office to, Saturday. So if you've got to call, you've got to call. Yeah, you see, thing fall. Anyhow, if you've got to call, you've got to call tomorrow, and that is between the hours of, let's say, 9 till 4. All right, 440-1875 or 440-1876. Those are the numbers you can call to get onto the inside of the rally. Yeah, that's for the buses for the rally. We've got a call on the line. Hello, good night. Hello. Hello. All right. Hello. Okay, it seems as though we may have lost that caller. Let's go to this one. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon, good night.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Right ahead.
I have a suggestion. What we can do at the rally on Sunday, like someone could have a donation box, and for that lady house at Bundong and Paul's Day. Like you could have a donation box and you could put whatever little you could to go towards helping that lady. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a possibility. You can do that.
Yes, because what happened, why that coming to my mind, I could have remembered on Turkey, when we had our Breadfruit Fest, I had a donation box and I think I raised about $600. People who give it go 5, 20, 10, you know, and I raised up about $600 for Turkey. Yes, so I think we can do this. We can do the same thing again for that lady, because we have to be our brother's keeper.
We can do that. We can do that and pass it on to Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters. She's the MP for the area, and she'll be able to meet with the person and organize according to their needs. So I think that would be a wonderful idea. So I'm looking for you on Sunday to give you the box. When I say I'm looking to give you the box, I mean a cardboard box, man. Next thing I say I'm looking to box you down. I'm looking for you on Sunday.
No, come on, you're talking to a big old man like me. Adore me. Yes. So I listened to Parliament with some of it. And I thank God our opposition MP pop up one after the other and give a meaningful contribution on that bill, the October 19th Heroes Day bill. And then I hear one or two, I heard the Prime Minister, then I heard the MP for St. George Northeast. And I say, Lord, most stupidness in this bill. And afterwards, when they raised Dr. Morris for the speaker, I just sit down. Because when you hear these people and what they are saying, they know nothing. And the thing is, they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear. We're coming to pass that, and it's that. Regardless of what you say, and the business of what you say, we're doing that, and it's that. And that cannot be good enough for a country. Because a thing like that, there are people who are hurting, who still dramatize whenever that day comes. Yeah? Now, I have no problem in having that day as a holiday and a day to reflect on the people who die and all those things. But to naming that day after Heroes Day, Dr. Kirani James could go down in the book of record of a hero, bring gold, silver, and bronze. What he know about October 19th. And other people who's coming up in the near future could be a hero. What they know about October 19th. What T.A. Mary should have to do with October 19th. You know, Eric Matthew Gary. These people have overchoked Eric Matthew Gary with the gun. Now you're putting him as a hero on October 19th. That's a big insult. You know, as it was rightfully said in you and Dwight Hosford discussion, it don't making any sense. These people is not talking to, cause they're not consulting anything to people, and they're just doing that, and it's that they will do, and it's that they will continue to do. And these people, it don't make any sense. So as I say, you could say again, You want to come and tell me how to celebrate my holiday? Look at the 25th of December. People going to go to church and honor the birth of Christ and all that stuff like that. Others might not believe it like me as the 25th of December, the birth of Christ, and they're going to take the holiday differently. That is the right, that is the decision to make. No, you can't come and tell me how to celebrate the holiday. And then just like February the 7th, no amplified music on the 11th hour, no on October 19th, no amplified music, and daddy going to come and tell us what he want to do with us and the kind of party. It's like mommy telling me, Clyde, get ready to go to church. And it's that. No, you are dealing with big people in this nation. People have a right to do what they have to do within the laws of this nation. People have a right to support what political party. People have a right to go to church whichever day you want. Yet that is the power and the decision of people you are dealing with. So when you're dealing with a thing like that, you have to consult people. You have to hear their views on that. Hear their views, hear what they have to take on this kind of a thing. Yeah. So I thought I should give my 2 piece on that scenario. Thank you, Sheldon.
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. And the number is 440-7377-347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Let me just make sure. Right, that's clear. That's clear. Right. So, folks, I've heard from the usual sources and so, yeah. Well, the paving for Molyneux Road. So, we are hoping that they can complete and open the road by the weekend. But don't look forward to it because they know that the New National Party has a rally in Beaujeu. They know that the people from the constituencies down on this end would prefer to pass through the reopened Molyneux Road, if it is opened, on Sunday. Don't look forward to them opening it before. Yeah, they say November, but we know that they just give dates. Remember, this Prime Minister does just give dates out of his head. So at the ending of last year and the beginning of this year, he repeated on a number of forums that we will be getting a new marketing and national importing board in a public-private partnership that they were pretty close to concluding, and that new entity would be ready in June. We're in November. Remember that. You see, the thing is, sometimes because we go silent on an issue, they tend to think that we forget. They tend to think that, oh, they forget about that, don't bother with that again. So we were promised, the Grenadian people were promised on more than one occasion by the Prime Minister that the new marketing board would be ready and that it would be ready by June. So we were supposed to have a new entity because remember, there are buildings and other things involved in this whole marketing and national importing board thing. There are 1 or 2 people that have been retained just to barely keep outlets open. But what marketing and importing board is supposed to be, it is not. Instead of fixing it, they decided that they go in and shut it down, retrench staff, some work in other places, some ain't working. Retrench staff, yeah. I hear some people asking about pension and all kind of thing with the pension plan. Still waiting on answers in relation to some of those things. They promised these people, when the Marketing and National Importing Board was being closed, they promised these people, and everything that I say here, remember, we could find the clips and play for it. They promised the people, when they were closing the Marketing and National Importing Board, that they would give training to the staff, and then they would provide the staff with loans to start their own local business. So if you are a staff member of the Marketing and National Importing Board, you were supposed to receive some training, small business operation, so that you could start your own business. Yeah? All you remember that, right? I ain't crazy. What's saying is true. They promised the workers that, and they promised them that after they did that training, was all kind of nice talk. We're still waiting to see the new Marketing and National Importing Board. We have a caller online.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Camille Teresa Scott.
That's my real name.
Of
Camille
course.
Teresa Scott. And good night to the Grenadian people who is listening home and abroad. Well, we lay our brother to rest this afternoon, Brother Legs.
Yeah.
Strong in peace supporter, you know. And I went to funeral. Yes, and he get a very nice support. People come out and support the family, his wife and his daughter, and the whole Aboriginal people, you know.
Yeah.
And he was very touching. You know, it is so sad when people ask to love each other and stop hating, stop making confusion, stop lying on one another, and live in love, you know. I remember, Mr. Legs, whenever they have a meeting, anyway, NNP have a meeting, and they call me to tell me, well, we go in Grenville, we go Sotels, we go away, and the bus go in Brizan. If it's one person from Brizan, is him. If he is one, we will always get him well ready. Yeah? We'll pick up that man there, and he'll be really missed by the people in the village. You understand? Yes, Dr. Mitchell was there, Mr. David was there, Zingo, his nephew, and what touched me inside there, well, water come out in my eyes as a human being. When his nephew go up to sing a song for his uncle, the boy just collapsed on the little thing there on the altar there. He couldn't say a word again, and that really touched me. People in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, try and live good. Try and live good with each other. Because Mr. Legs was in town, and look, he just go back home, he play card. The wife tell me they play domino. They will talk, and he just say he didn't feeling good. And that was it. He has supporters, NNP supporters that having nothing to say about other people. We have to stop that. If NNP supporters, we are with our family. I tell you that man never miss nothing. Sheldon, nothing. Anywhere we go any day, it's a great loss. And I know Doc feel that. Dr. Mitchell feel that one. You know, I just appealing to people, let's live good. Because tonight might be the last night or they might hear me. Because I do well, you know. I do well. I buy food from a woman from River Road, and all who buy with me, they eat too, and they don't mess. They don't go to hospital. Me alone not get sick. And I did not eat till in the morning. I didn't eat nothing. I didn't buy nothing. But from the time I start to drink that pumpkin soup, my belly start to hurt me. Up to this day, I trembling when I walk in. I trembling. You know, I don't want no enemy. I just don't like when people say things about each other. You know, we're supposed to live good with one another. Look at what's going on in this country. Every day somebody complaining, Sheldon. Sheldon, every day somebody complaining about things that are going on in the life. People come, they take me like a thing. That little business I have there, I start selling tamarind ball, you know, that gives me that little business. Tamarind ball, I used to sit down all night and roll tamarind ball and nog and nod in, but I roll in me tamarind ball. I didn't get no money from no bank, no credit union to open a little business. Tamarind ball, all where they have me pin a day with me like a tree. You know? And kind friends and my children, one of my good sons, all the others good, but that one always stretch hand. You know? And people come, they take me things like God, they won't pay me. Are you paying me money now? Why you take me little thing? I give all you in your good heart. Come and give me little money. I can't even walk good. I didn't pay, I living on painkillers and injection. Come and give me little money instead of all the only running out your mouth and people. Stop it. People dying. A lot of people dying. It's not nice. And saying all kind of things about each other. We're supposed to be a family. Zingo, all of them, they break down, and that touched me, really, really touched me. I couldn't go in the cemetery, Sheldon Scott, because I can't walk so good. I get a ride and I go back down in the terminal and close my shop. And I'm appealing to all supporters, all NNP supporters, let's try and live good and, try to get each other to register. Because if all you don't register, you go put back NNC people there.
Exactly.
If all you don't do that, they will go back there. And if all you're saying this about one another and fighting on one another, you will put that people on them back. I can't live under them. I will leave Grenada and go to St. Vincent somewhere and make an arrangement already. It's sad. Party, good night. And good night to Matthew. I say good night, Mr. Watts. I look for you. I thought you was here. But it's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to say good night to you and your wife.
Oh, yes, tonight is Thanksgiving night.
Then Mr. Watts family and them die, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we done people one when they do take it, you know. So I just want to say good night to everybody. Let's pray for each other, one another, and they had big up your usually or Sundays is big day. Sheldon, I'm telling all you all, if this Prime Minister from Jamaica coming Grenada and you see safe, I don't wait in, I go straight up to shake hands. I love that man.
No, I'll try my best to make sure that you see
No,
him.
you have to try not to I'm brave enough to ask excuse and go and shake Mr. Thing hand. Hey, you don't have to fight. Nobody don't have to think for me. I'm going to ask for excuse and go and shake his hand as long as I get the opportunity. Yes. Anyhow, good night to everybody. Let's live in love and peace and pray for each other. Yes. If you don't like people, don't love each other. We suffering out here. We suffering. It's a real separation for poor people out here. Look at this child that just talked to you, Mr. Hosford. His mother was my boss. And I know them little children here and little sister coming in Ministry of Finance by the mother. Look at him, he's a big man now. Big respectable man. Mr. Hosford was my boss. Because I work in the Ministry of Finance for years. Yeah. Anyhow, everybody, I'll have a good night. I'm drinking a cup of bush tea.
All right, Cammy.
Good night,
You have
Mr.
a
Peter
good one.
David, wherever you is, sir. You're very close to me heart. And I hear the night before, a man from America calling him a stooge. Mister, you must say them things about people. Do not. You don't know nothing about Peter. And anytime you mash it, you mash my bit too. And I will deal with you well, Dre. You understand? Don't call him no stooge because he don't do nothing wrong to you. Stop it. I'll just stop it. We don't want it. And that's what the other side people like to hear when I look at people's names. I don't like that. Dr. Mitchell, good night. I saw him here. You see that, man? I don't call people old. Do not call people old. And you have a sexy walk, you know. I see boss. Yes, both of them. I love both of them, Sheldon.
Of course.
Sheldon, I love Peter David. I love Kit Mitchell. I can't back up none of them. God would not like that. I remember Mr. Scott, when Dr. Mitchell was Prime Minister, and he come to church. We go to the same church and worship. The big van, the big black van, I ride in that van before Dick Mitchell. The guys and the soldiers, they put me, he said, where you going? Where you going home? I said, back. I have to walk down. He tell them guys, pick me up. And I then in the back with the police officers, and they jumping out the van. I so feel red, I'm telling you. And they open the door and drop me in front of me door. So I cannot sit with anybody and say nothing about Mr. Mitchell. And on Sunday, bringing me and put me sit down in the mother veranda and drinking a sorry, eat something. Peter again, I welcome. So I can't say nothing. And Grenadians are running them out and you stop it. Have a good night to everybody.
Gabby, good night.
Say a prayer for our country. Good night to everybody. Right. Bye-bye.
You have a good one.
Pate and Matthew.
All right.
I hope you're telling Matthew I say good night, you know.
Yes,
good night, darling.
All right, later. Yes, indeed, folks. 440-737-347-329-3101. I think I take off my thing here. Yeah, we have another caller online. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
How are you, man?
Quite fine. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, Sunday could be a big day. The people of St. John Northwest will welcome everyone Sunday to the massive rally at the Busheju pasture. Everyone are welcome, and it will be a ball of a time. With information will be given out to the people, and the people there will take that information and bring it back to their home to let the children know what is going on in the country. And Brother Sheldon, I want to say again to people, don't be frightened. Don't be frightened. Come out to the rally. Come out. Bring out the children, the grandchildren to the rally. Right? Those who listen, hear and listen and understand, they will understand what the opposition is saying, and it's what they're saying is fact. They think of the situation of what is going on in the country. So we're asking everyone to come out and listen, and it will be a massive time. Drinks will be on sale. Our group, the fundraising committee group, will sell them chicken and fry and barbecue chicken. And so tomorrow, please God, we announce them buses that we take them from Cherry Hill, Grand Mall Point, Mount Morris up to the rally. So we announce them buses by tomorrow, please God.
But how will you show our program tomorrow night to announce tomorrow night? I and all not even show our program tomorrow night. I trying, but I ain't making a promise.
All right, don't worry.
Okay.
So I'll get it out.
Well,
I'll get it out.
All right. I hear you. All right, sir. Have a good one. 4407. You know what? Let me hold on that. Yeah, because last night we hear when we were told, and I think we need to hear it tonight again. Yeah, some people tell me they didn't hear it. So they hear about it, but I said, well, go and watch the program online. You understand? Yeah, all they had to do is go and watch the program online. Let me hear
Whether or not we should basically have the day recognized as a holiday in Grenada and how we should be. I don't believe, and I don't stand behind the idea that every holiday that we basically announce in Grenada should be a jam and wine kind of thing. And I think the moment is such that it requires that day be a very solemn day, and I fully support all the activities that we have actually announced that these days should carry with it. No amplified music. People should be forward to basically go into the church and to basically be expressing the solemn situation. And so I fully support and stand behind the idea that October 19 be a holiday as announced and be recognized as is.
Yeah, so go to church. Yeah, all you had to go to church on that day. Yeah, Daddy said go to church. Ain't it? Yeah, he said go to church on the day. Don't watch these guys good, you know. They're real good, you know. Yeah. They want to legislate how you decide to enjoy your particular day. They want to legislate to you how you decide that you're going to spend that particular day. If the government on that day decides that they are going to have particular activities of a particular nature and they invite folks to go, that's up to the government. If other individuals, not so attached or affiliated, decide that they want to have activities in their own fashion on that particular day, which is a holiday, where at least 10 or 20 poor people could come outside the activity and sell something and make $1, where the promoters like the Wagiti and the Judah, who when they make the money from these things, and a lot of people know it and they doesn't say it, I go say it, does go back and help people in communities when the house burn. They don't come out and they don't advertise and put it on the internet and say, well, okay, Judah went and he helped a person build back a house that the house they burn, or Wagi went and he helped somebody build back the house and the house did burn. They go and they help people with the money that they make from the bingo and the shows and so on. And then there are all the people that come around these activities that wouldn't get that opportunity to do that during the week, but it's a holiday and it's an additional activity. So they get the chance to go there and they might make the money to buy their children's school books or to buy their uniform, or to pay the rent that may be outstanding for 2 months, or to at least pay Grenlec so they can't cut them off. These people go and they get the opportunities to go and do that. But this government has decided that no, you must come their activities or you have to stay home. You have only 2 options. Come their activities or stay home, or you could go on the beach and thing, but you can't, no music and thing. You could just go about your business and so. Don't be surprised if they try to ban us from going on them thing too, like if we during COVID. But it is totally unacceptable in my view. We have a caller online. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Scott.
Hey,
my volume is down on my TV now.
Okay.
I'm calling from the Nutmeg State.
Nutmeg State. Go right ahead, bro. How
Yes.
was
Now,
how was your
First, I
Thanksgiving
want to ask
dinner?
a question. It's all the way down. My phone is down.
No, I was
Okay.
asking about your Thanksgiving dinner.
No. The bird fly away. I hold a turkey, but I didn't kill it fast enough. He fly away. Yes. Now, question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we don't have the 2/3 majority, it's 10-5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we win the next election, can any of these things that this 2-year-old who now become our prime minister, given the respect, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, can any of what the strong arm tactics he's doing, can any of these things be overturned?
Yeah.
In other words, when we win our election coming up, you can't dictate to me, next thing I'm coming down to Grenada, you tell me I cannot sit with my wife in the same room on that day. Because it's a sacred. What happens if I don't believe in God? I still have to go to church? Is that what he's saying? That you have to go to church and you have to do this? What type of why is Grenadians not seeing that? Why are we not seeing that? I'm a Grenadian in America, and fortunately for me, I have dual. But why is no one making a comment on that? Okay, I'm going to turn my phone down, and I'm going to turn my volume up.
Okay.
Good night, sir.
No problem. Yeah, no, just to say that it's a law, and laws can be amended, they can be repealed. So you could amend it, and as you can change certain sections of it. You could repeal the law entirely and put a new law in place, or you just repeal it entirely and you forget that. Yeah? But again, I would not say that that is the intention of the New National Party. The NNP is simply offering some very sensible, measured, reasonable advice to this administration. Consult with the people of Grenada before going fully into this activity in the way that you want to go forward with this activity. Because come the 7th of February next year, just in a couple months again, we're nearly in December already. Yeah? If you look outside the window, you see December coming. So we're nearly in December already. And we may very well find ourselves on Independence Day again being bullied into having one activity where there's music and so on, that if you want music and so you have to go to the stadium because the Prime Minister wants to put on his sash again and his sandals and look pretty for people to come and say, whoa, look at the Prime Minister's dress. It's all about me. Everybody have to come here. They can't go nowhere else. So do not be surprised that we find ourselves on that day again in a situation where we cannot go and have an activity anywhere else. So the hundreds of people throughout Petit Martinique, Grenada, and Carriacou, I seen it how they used to say it, and that's how they used to say it, Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. The literally hundreds of people throughout the 3 islands that would have their little activities or benefit on the outside of the activities. Those people who go around the stadium when there's an activity there and they sell and make the dollar. Those who do it at other activities, different places. They will not be able to do that. So the little money that they might have made in February that may have offset the low pocket they suffered through the whole of January. You're taking it away from these people in an uncaring and unconcerned manner. Again, it goes back to what Senator Hosford and myself were speaking about. Leadership has empathy. Leadership has a level of compassion. proper leaders, when things are happening, they can't sleep when the night time come. They can't sleep when they're considering what some people are going through. They cannot sleep properly. And it doesn't seem as though this Prime Minister has a problem sleeping, because he hardly hear anyhow. So it doesn't seem as though he has a problem sleeping. But I mean, look, you look at the state of healthcare in our country. You look at the state of healthcare in our country. And you know what? I'll let you hear what they had to say quite recently. I'm going to let you hear what the Minister of Health had to say about healthcare quite recently. Yeah, let me see if I could pull that up. Right, let me hear what the minister had to say about healthcare in Grenada. Listen very carefully. This is the Minister of Health. For those of you, the Kittian listeners, those of you listening in the U.S. Virgin Islands, yes, I know you all are listening out there. The U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, those of you in Trinidad, Barbados, yeah, all of you. This is what the Minister of Health, our good St. Lucian friends, this is what the Minister of Health of Grenada had to say.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the planning, all of setting aside the financing and getting the financing and all the stuff that is needed to make the big decisions that are to be made. And so I am satisfied.
No, Mr. Minister, we want to make sure we hear what you say. So we want to go over it again, right? Nice.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the plans.
So, folks, the Minister of Health is admitting there that they didn't do nothing in healthcare for the last 2.5 years. He's saying when people say that they have not done it, they're not wrong, because there are things that they should have done that they have not done, like buy medication, mister. That's why you think all they should do and all they didn't do. Yeah? Again, not me saying it, he's saying it. Those are not my words. Those are the words of the minister himself, eh? Right, yeah.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. For the past 2.5 years is a fact. Improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the planning, all of setting aside the financing and getting the financing and all the stuff that is needed to make the big decisions that are to be made.
In other words, they do all the window dressing and nothing else. That's what they do. You get financing, but people still at times cannot get certain medication and basic medications. But you get financing. So you have the money, but they don't have the medication. People are going to do blood tests, no reagents. You're going to do different exams and so on, and the equipment or the little bits and pieces that are needed to do that test are not available. You have people in the hospital basically working miracles. Some of the staff there, they seriously need a heavy congratulation, because they're working miracle with what they do have. And you are the Minister of Health, That is the Minister of Health. If you are not a Grenadian and you hear that, you're looking to run. You looking to run. Because I can't understand how the Minister of Health of Grenada is saying, well, maybe it's Lacko he's trying to talk for. Maybe he's trying to talk for Brother Lacret. And trying to say that Brother Lacret ain't do nothing in that space of time. And then he come and he ain't do nothing as well. Maybe it's Brother Lacret he's trying to talk for. But to say that the administration has done nothing, and then, he's saying this. He's the minister. He's making the statement. And while he's making that statement, you have the NDC mouthpieces out there that saying things have never been better. That healthcare is so improved and they're so impressed with the healthcare system and so on. Because you basically have the workers in the healthcare system who holding the thing together because the administration has not placed the proper emphasis, guidance, and directive to the staff. They've not done that. So you have the whole thing falling apart. And if it wasn't for some staff that basically trying to hold it together, the entire thing would have collapsed already. And then you have the minister coming to us and basically saying nothing really has been achieved. No, hear him again. Hear the entire statement again, man. I don't have to put up your face. Yeah, okay.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet. What we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet. What we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet.
Yeah, I think we hear enough for you. 440-737-734-732-93-3101. That's there's a little Minister of Health speaking there. Right. Any other country, brother, man, you would have been fired on the spot. 4407, yeah, believe me. 440-737-734-732-93-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get onto the inside of tonight's program. Yeah? That's the same people and them who tell us that they just want us to forget things, eh? They just want us to forget things. So we hear the statement on healthcare, they're hoping that we forget that and leave that alone. I'm not leaving it alone. Yeah? Because people go into the hospital every day and they're going through things that they ought not to have been going through. And then the staff getting the blame who should not be getting the blame because the system is the problem. You had Dr. Mayana Charles talking about the primary healthcare services and the importance of that. And within that interview, and I'll give the minister that, within that interview, he did mention something that I agree with. That enough of us wait until the last minute when we have a medical crisis to deal with that issue we could have dealt with weeks or months before. Especially with our children, sometimes there's an issue with your child and you wait too long and you wait until something starts to drop off or so on before you address the particular concern. And many of us are guilty of it. Yeah, so I agree with that. But if you had proper primary health care in place and you were engaging on the community level at the level that you were supposed and the organized system that you're supposed to do, you would avoid those sort of things happening. So while you're flipping the blame on people themselves, the primary healthcare service, the the going out into the communities, the meeting with people in the communities, the door-to-door basically, that sort of thing. If that was taking place in the way it ought to take place, then it would balance off against any other negatives that you have there, and you'd be able to save lives. But I saw the Minister of Health talking there. Yeah, that the Minister of Health. That the Minister of Health. Will you hear him? One more time.
There is going to be some rejoicing. The process is painful. Being told that, healthcare has not been improved for the past 2.5 years is a fact. It has not been improved in the way that you would expect to see it. There's some small signs, as pointed out earlier, but what we really need to do, we haven't really done it yet, but we have done all of the planning, all of setting aside the financing and getting the financing and all the stuff that is needed to make the big decisions that are to be made. And so I am satisfied.
Yeah, that is the minister for you. That's the minister. You see, this whole thing is a joke to some of these people, eh? And that's what I realized. This whole thing is a joke to some of these people. It's a joke. I think we have a caller on the line. Which one is it? All right, I think that's the line there. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night. Go right ahead, caller. You're live.
How are you, my brother? How are you?
Hey. Nimrod.
Brother Sheldon.
How you going, bro?
I'm good. Pleasant good night to you and all your listeners out there, both in terrestrial land, on the regular radio, and on the internet, far and wide.
I vex with you, man.
Why is that?
Today's Thanksgiving, you ain't say, come and eat up here. You know I don't really eat turkey, but you could have called me still.
Both Rasta, man, so you know Rasta don't deal with the dead, so well, okay. But yeah, we could have do a piece of fish and things.
Yeah, we could have deal with a piece of fish there, man. Yeah.
Yes, I was a bit hesitant to call, even though I was supposed to call, because that topic you're covering there.
We will come back to that. Don't worry, we ain't done. We will come back to that, man.
No, but I just wanted to say it's very, very interesting that, you have a government minister actually admitting that, hey, we did for 2.5 years and we did nothing pertaining to healthcare when they campaigned on healthcare and making it much better. But like you say, we'll come back to that.
Yes, brother. So we have the activities on the weekend. I know you've been part of the planning committee. In relation to the activities, I want you to give us a little rundown of Saturday night and then on to Sunday.
So, as Saturday night we starting with the banquet and award ceremony at Pier 57 in Grand Mall. Recognizing some stalwart of the new National Party over the years, dating back 40 years. So it will be, an award ceremony as well as the banquet. And in our presence, we have our political leader and former Prime Minister, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. And we also have sitting Prime Minister, Honorable Andrew Holness, and the opposition leader in St. Lucia, Mr. Alan Chassonnet. So those are just some of the dignitaries that will be there for the banquet on Saturday night, and we expect it to be a splendid event, and we're calling on our supporters to come out and support the event Saturday night. And we have a live band, we have some entertainment, and we have some a few young people that are younger NNP supporters that will be there, and members of the party that would be there to to contribute on that night also, Sheldon.
All right. So that's the Saturday night activity. Some folks have been asking if it will be live or so on. I'm not sure if it will be live. If it is live, Talking Points will broadcast. But I am not sure if it will be live.
Portions of the plan is we're working on having portions of it going live.
The award ceremony part of it.
The award ceremony portion of it. So, yes, we're still working on that because it's a busy weekend and persons are occupied with certain things already. So, but we're working on that, and we should know by sometime tomorrow.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. And then on Sunday, the massive rally at the Bourgeois playing field. Again, both the Prime Minister of Jamaica and the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia opposition leader will be present. Give us some more insight into Sunday's activity.
I mean, massive, you can't say massive one time, massive rally. I mean, the calls I'm getting about the amount of buses, per constituency, it's just amazing. People are excited. They want to come out and hear our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, Mr. Chassane from St. Lucia, as well as our young, vibrant speakers. I mean, you saw that last zonal meeting with in St. Andrew Southeast, and so a number of the youth speakers and at the youth rally that spoke would be there also to bring greetings and to bring hope to our young supporters in this country, because a lot of our young supporters, a lot of the young people in this country are currently being adversely affected with the way this administration is governing our country. So there's a lot in store for Sunday. We're encouraging everyone to come out. I mean, we had put out a call to, buses. One constituency called me today and says they're up to about 12 buses already, Sheldon. That's coming from the Grenville area. And we have the big four in Grenville, and one called me today indicating that they're up to about 12 buses so far.
Wonderful. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of that. You have a local entertainment and thing too, because
of course.
That is NNP.
Well, and let me say, so the rally on Sunday, the first hour is going to be gospel, a gospel part of the rally.
So I'm a DJ. I know some wicked gospel.
We're going to have some live entertaining gospel singers performing at the concert. So we're asking each and every one, come out early, come and take in. We're starting it right. You have to reverence God in everything you do. So we're starting with gospel, and that should be for the first hour. So from 5 to 6, we should be having the gospel entertainment.
Wonderful. And as I've said to folks who are trying to get onto the bus but they're not sure who to speak to in their area, they've got between 9 and 4 tomorrow to call 440-1875, 1876, both of them 1875 or 1876, and speak to one of the ladies there. They'll be able to help them and tell them, well, okay, this is who you call or that is who you call to get on the bus for there.
And also, I know we're working on it in terms of revising it, but it should the contact should be pretty much be like the one that you use for the bingo. But so far from what I'm getting, I don't see no changes. But with the finalized one, you will get it tomorrow again, Sheldon.
Okay, so
but they can definitely call the 440 number that you gave out for any information, and they will be put in contact with the persons in the respective constituencies regarding the buses. And, listen, we know how it is in the campaign. If you come out by the road and you stick your hand out and you say Bousséjou, a transport will stop for you and it will get to Bousséjou, and we will ensure that you get back home safely.
Yeah, and we ain't too sure about it being live. You have to come out. So we ain't too sure about the live part for Sunday.
That, definitely, because we want
as much
early persons, as much as our supporters, well-wishers, and even those that don't support us, come out and hear the message.
Yeah.
Because we are on a mission to rescue Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Matnik. And the only so you'll know if we truly believe and we're truly going to do what we say is that you had to be a part of it. You got to come out and listen for yourself and be a part of it and then watch us as it's being executed.
While we will be taping it, we are not, you can't promise that it will be live on Sunday. So don't look for a live on Sunday. Look to be there live on Sunday.
Definitely.
Yeah, look to be there live.
Definitely.
Because it is the 40th anniversary rally of the new National Party, right? And we have visitors. So when we bring visitors to the house, you know what must happen. We had to come out, we had to put out with best. So we need to see all constituencies coming down in their numbers.
Like Granny used to say back in the day, just put on your Sunday dandan and come out.
Yes, indeed, my brother.
But it's very, very exciting. The weekend is is matching up to be very, very exciting for the new National Party. It's going to be fruitful. Again, the preparations are in place. We are going to have a bumper time Saturday night and carry that on right into Sunday and have that massive 40th. You know, Sheldon, just being 40, you know, just having, you know, just being 40 and then having a brand, having a product as the new National Party, being able to celebrate 40 years as a party, not as a group of people that just come together for election purposes, but as a unified party. That's a big achievement. I mean, our nation is 50 years old, and you have a political party, the new National Party, in existence for 40 of those 50 years. So that speaks volume right there, Sheldon. And hence, you know, we went out, and persons that their political party in the respective countries, i.e. Jamaica and St. Lucia, their leaders at the time was very, very, very instrumental in the creation and formation of the new National Party. Mm-hmm. And so they jumped at the call to come for this occasion because they know how meaningful it was to their political leader back then in the creation and formation of this new National Party. And so they wanted to come to be here to participate and partake in that with us. So we definitely have to come out in our numbers and show them what it means to be supporting the new National Party all these years.
And you know, in those 40 years, there have been many other political parties that came and disappeared from the scene. There was one that existed before and has basically disappeared from the scene as well. I see somebody say they bring it back last time, but the courthouse had to decide that one. But there are many political parties. If you look at the listing of the political parties that were registered in Grenada, the political parties that were named, there are quite a few
yes,
that have been registered in
yes.
Grenada. But the new National Party remains dominant.
And who stand through thick and thin, and who has been leading this country for a vast majority of these 40 years. You know, you hear all the blabber and all the chat that the new National Party has not done anything for Grenada. Well, that is saying that, to me, whenever people say that, that is saying, well, the Grenadian people doesn't know what they're about, because the Grenadian people has resoundingly chosen the new National Party to govern this country for all these years, so which means that they have their faith, confidence, and trust in the new National Party to deliver.
Indeed. My brother, I'd like to thank you for taking a couple minutes to be on with us. And tomorrow night, when we had a final listing for the buses, and so we're going to have a little discussion again tomorrow night.
I will definitely ensure you get it before the start of your program, and then, yes, I will make some time again for you and your wonderful audience tomorrow night, please God.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so very much, my brother Nimrod Olivier. And after the program, me and you had to talk as seen,
No problem, my brother. You know, listen.
All right. Yes, folks, speaking with my good brother there, Nimrod Olivier. Yeah, and you know what he was talking about? We was talking about this. Let me show you. Let me show you what we're talking about. Nice, right? Yeah, beautiful.
Is in the making as the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally, Busheshu Plain Field, on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Massive 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st, Busheshu Plain Field. Be there.
Yes, indeed, folks. So looking forward to seeing you all at Busheshu on Sunday. All right, yeah. Olifila forget the Minister of Health? No, I ain't forget the Minister of Health. The Minister of Health basically telling all you one time. He telling all you, you know. Hey, Papa, yo. All you Minister of Health telling all you. He telling all you straight. Yeah, he telling all you straight that they ain't do nothing. He telling all you that. Wait, now there's an activity that's supposed to take place. Another activity, I think, for this weekend. Where is it? No, Sip and Chat is next week. That is okay, right. So I could hold off on those others for now. Right, because those are for next week and that kind of thing. So I don't need to rush through them right now. You know what? Let me. Last night at a youth forum, and I only want to hear something from the youth forum. Let me see if we see something from the youth forum last night. Let me see what we could see from the youth forum last night. Yeah.
And if you start at that age, it means that probably when you're like these two young ladies today who we saw at Iguanas. Listen, guys, tears nearly come out of my eyes. I mean, when I taste that food, man, I mean, listen, my colleagues know that I like food. When I taste that food, I was like, nah. I must see who cooking this food. I was an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old. Listen, I work in hotel for 10 years. And I can tell you, when we had to get like chefs and so, we have to go outside and get chef from England and wherever to come here and cook. Now what these girls are doing is amazing. But I'm saying probably they may not be as good in the academics as, as in the skills. But guys, come on, man, be serious, man. Be serious. Right. But
what going on with them there? What happened there? I mean, I thought all they supposed to be big hardback men and ministers and all your prime ministers speaking and all your holding hand behind the man back. What kind of thing is that? Tevin and Ron, what kind of all you holding hand behind the man back and making shoo? What kind of thing is the man to tell all you behave? Hey, what kind of thing all you?
In the academics as, as in the skills. But guys, come on, man, be serious, man. Be serious. Right. But
yeah, only be serious now. In fact, if you're really serious, resign and go and find something else to do, because I can't understand how good already.
As in the skills. But guys, come on, man, be serious, man. Be serious. Right.
Oh, you expect them to be serious? Two of them holding hand and making behind your back? What now? Well, nice shirt though. Yeah, right. Yeah, what kind of thing is that? Hey, all you be serious now.
As in the skills. But guys, come on, man, be serious, man. Be serious. Right.
But yeah, be serious now. Be serious. That's the kind. If that happening in an open forum like that, you have the young people of Carriacou who have come there. And the young people have come there to hear what the government has to offer, and also to say to the government, hey, this is how we perceive things on the islands of Carriacou. Well, that I feel that was more just Carriacou than Carriacou and Petit Martinique. But this is how we perceive things at this time. And we want to let you all know this is what you should be doing. And two of them up there playing handsy behind the man back. Where's all that you seeing? That is what people, that's what some people vote for. That's what some people vote for. Yeah, that's what some people vote for. All they playing handsy behind the man back here to tell all they behave. Big hardback ministers playing handsy behind the man back here to tell all they behave. Eh? And I thought that, folks, literally 1 week or so after Hurricane Beryl had passed, on the Tuesday night forum, I invited Dr. Augustine Panchu to be on with us on the program. I know many of you do remember that. At the point in time, I myself had already been to Carriacou and had recognized within a lot of people some depression, some shock that some people had in them still. I always remember one particular young lady was coming down on the Osprey, and she just leaned back right by the bar in the back of Osprey, and she just fixed her eyes outside the boat, and she didn't shift between Carriacou down to the mainland. I went up to her at one point in the journey and I said, how is it going? And she said to her, she lost everything. She was from the island of Petit Martinique. And she said, I lost everything. Everything is gone. The house, everything in the house, everything is gone. And she was in a state of shock. So that sort of initiated myself speaking with Dr. Panchu in relation to this issue. And in having that discussion, we mentioned the need for that sort of counseling and so to take place in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And on different occasions, we had the member of parliament, I believe, for Carriacou and Petit Martinique. We had the minister with responsibility for mental health and others saying that basically they were doing counseling and so in Carriacou. So I was surprised last night after I hear that they were doing counseling in Carriacou. I was kind of surprised last night to come and hear this.
The whole issue of mental challenges would be a key aspect because you're still dealing with the aftermath. And so the issue of counseling came up here tonight, and I think it came up earlier on today. So as a government, we have to work as fast as possible to provide Carriacou and Petit Martinique with a counselor so that they can assist. But even other services. So while we may try...
So wait, let's still have to provide Carriacou and Petit Martinique with a counselor. We thought all you had a counselor and so up there. You have people that just went through one of the worst hurricanes ever. Not just in Carriacou, you know, ever. One of the worst hurricanes. This thing just leveled up like if it was a video game. Level the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and you telling me up to now they don't have a counselor, so you had to go in Carriacou to hear from the people now, to realize that you need a counselor. That is where it reached to. That is what it reached to. All they was studying the food when all they go up in Carriacou to eat too much.
And so the issue of counseling came up here tonight, and I think it came up earlier on today. So as a government, we have to work as fast as possible to provide...
As fast as possible? The hurricane was in July, lady. The hurricane was in July. What do you mean all you have to work as fast as possible? And we were told that you all already had counselors and so on working in Carriacou. Don't worry, I'll get the clips. I didn't get time to grab them before I come in studio here. But I will get the clips of you all speaking about there being counselors and so on available in Carriacou to offer psychosocial assistance and so to the people. Yeah? So how you all still have to and need to look at getting counselors because they do have in Carriacou? What madness is this? But that is madness. Yeah?
Came up here tonight, and I think it came up earlier on today. So as a government, we have to work as fast as possible to provide Carriacou and Petit Martinique with a counselor so that they can assist. But even other services. So while we may try to send a counselor in Carriacou, we believe that there are other ways that we can provide that support, that psychological support for you, the people of Carriacou. Because sometimes we may send a counselor, and because mental health challenges are so still stigmatized and taboo, many of you would not go because people may watch you and say, okay, then it's like she's crazy. Why is she going there? And so because of that, you would stay away and deal with your challenges.
I remember them who tell you that they had it there already, and now all of a sudden the story changed. All right, okay, the story changed now. It's all right. Okay, Papa, no, I'll go find the clips. You know, the clips are there. I will. If you know it's one person in Grenada, I'll go find it. It's me, eh? Because you all were saying to the people of Grenada that there was psychosocial assistance already available in Carriacou and Petit Martinique for the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique who are affected. Because there are people who have lingering, they have PTSD. They have it, and it's not something that we should hide from and say, well, no, it don't exist, and you're bad talking Carriacou and Petit Martinique. The whole of Grenada had it after Ivan. Some people still have it. There are people in Carriacou and Petit Martinique right now that need somebody, a professional, to speak to. Dr. Panchu took of his own time, used his own money, and went up to Carriacou and spoke with people and offered assistance as much as he can. And we have a caller. I think this will be our final caller for tonight. Hello.
Hey, Sheldon.
Hi,
what's
good
up,
night.
man?
Yeah, I'm quite fine.
Man, I had scheduled myself to watch that in Busheju, man. And when you say that you're not a guarantee that you're going to be live, well, I may have to watch a football game.
No, here's what we can do. We could broadcast it in a way that it only shows if you're in the U.S. and outside of Grenada. You know, there's a way to do that.
Well,
So
right. Well, now you're talking.
We could do that, but I'm not sure. What I was not sure on is if the infrastructure at the location was in place to show the rally. But by Sunday, you're going to know better.
Yeah,
Because
I'll say myself, well, the people in the diaspora get left behind.
No, we can't leave all out. What we can do, on the day itself, once we are sure we're going to be broadcasting, and so we send out messages to people via WhatsApp and text message, and we place it on the Facebook and pages and so on. You see it pending on the YouTube pages. So once that is taking place, just look out on the YouTube and the Facebook and so. Yeah?
All right. That sounds like a plan.
No problem, sir.
Lovely.
All right. Thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah. So I'm telling you all, I thought we had the psycho help here. I thought we had that. I thought we had that in place. I thought we had that in place. I really thought the people of Carriacou, because from what we were told before, the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique were supposed to have that in place. Oh my goodness. Anyway, folks, we're quickly running out of time on tonight's program. And I just want to remind you all, tomorrow night, I'm not 100%, but about like 75% there that I will be in tomorrow night. 75%. I'm not 100%, but 75% that I'll be in tomorrow night. All right? Because, once it's a Friday, my arrangements are kind of different because I only know JJ already. Yeah, and that might mean I might have to bring JJ with me. And, my arrangement's kind of different. So, and otherwise, transport and all of that on a Friday is different. So, folks, I am not positive, but I am trying because, especially tomorrow night, there is something that I wanted to clear up. Because you often hear these people calling radio programs, calling other places, and speaking about a particular issue. And I wanted to, and as I said, it might take as much as 20 minutes or so. But I'll take the time because I think it's important for you all to hear the real story behind what happened there. Yeah? And there are other things I can play along the same line. But I'm going to take them one at a time. Yeah? So tomorrow night we're going to do that. We're going to have some other clips and so on that we're going to play from back in the day for you all. But it's also important every now and again to deal with some of the lies that they're coming out with. Right? And then another reminder again, as we're leaving the program tonight, we basically have 2 days remaining in the month of November. 2 days. 2 days and roughly 2 hours and 2 minutes remaining in November. The Prime Minister of this country, who was the one was speaking about they don't have documents in relation to oil and gas, and they can't find documents in relation to oil and gas, was called out on this program by the Honorable Gregory Bowen. Because what he was not telling the Grenadian people was that he had called Honorable Gregory Bowen in, that Honorable Gregory Bowen went in and provided information for them, and that the files had never left where they were in the ministry in the first place, that they were able to secure the files in the ministry. They were able to secure them. But he never came back to the Grenadian people and said that the files were always there, and he apologized. Because they don't apologize. Whether it's the one who playing handsy with Ron behind thing man, whether it's that one who would go and say a blatant lie about Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox's mother, and up to this point in time has not, in any form or format that we have seen, made any form of apology or attempt at an apology. None. It's just like Pinky Gate. You just sweep that aside. Don't worry, man. They ain't go think about that. Forget that. We ain't forgetting Pinky Gate. Right? So, it's just the same way the Prime Minister makes statements about the new National Party and some Polish businessman. No apology, no evidence. You have all these statements that these people make and these blatant lies, and you expose it, and then after you expose it, they are not man or woman or whatever to come forward and say sorry. They don't have the belly, and it seems as though they don't even have the upbringing, because they don't know when they're wrong to apologize. Yeah? Apologize. Simple. I do something wrong in the program, I just apologize. Nobody can say Sheldon Scott is not a man does apologize if he wrong. Sometimes I even wrong and I'm apologizing. Just for peace. So apologize, but you see, that is what people who are proper brought up, see? Yeah, they were brought up properly and so on. That is what people who were brought up properly would do. Other people, they know about them kind of thing. Yeah? But folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's now 10 o'clock on the Spice Isle of Grenada. And we want to say thank you to each and every one of you who have joined us tonight on Talking Points. We're going to try our very best to be in studio tomorrow with you all. Love each and every one of you. And before I go out, let me remind you all again, I had to give all y'all a reminder. Before I go out, we had to give all y'all a reminder here. Let me see if I could pull it up quick. Yeah, because it's taking place just on Sunday. And I want you all to make sure, 440-1875, 440-1876. Make sure and call tomorrow. Get your information regarding the buses. In whatever you say, whatever you do, do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. I am out.
History is in the making as the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally. Bushes playing field on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Marcel 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st. Bushes playing field. Be there.
This is Malax again. I say my back brother is brother. Michael Battis, please don't take my bail. I want to go in jail. I want to go in jail. What you know about Black Pat and Bon Pat? Hey. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. Dr. Mitchell is a real world boss. He begged them fellas to come to class. Well, you know that all of them refuse, and now the whole nation confused. One jump and sell Miss McQuinca, Tevin cause them teachers for water. Big corruption inside Latu, but maybe Jesus make Lakobo. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. CJ and AJ turn engineer, both in River Road and Molinier. Is to see them with a helmet, telling us when project will complete. I'm telling you now it's 2 years plus, and like the project start to revolt. No River Road and what more flood, and Molinier full up with more. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. I really thought Randall Robinson bad, but the man is a real big coward. Came Jones say fire Larry Barry, fire him as the secretary. But the man he really friend Millie. Come and tell us how some people say. Came Jones say by no fluffy old talk. Tell them fella time to pack and walk. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy. I'm prepared to break a jail. I don't want nobody stand me bail. And I tell them call the police for me, even though I'm not guilty. I know haters will happy to see Smallocks in custody. If I do see the farmer banker, ask him the reason he get fire. And if he pretend he ain't know, ask him about the house in Maribo. And if he want to create trouble in me life, I go send him a number for me wife. And if he really want to make confusion, tell us Smallocks have other woman. Call the police for me and arrest me like Ziggy.